Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Thunder Today YouTube channel. I am your host, Dylan Hibbard, and we're going to just kind of get into a few things today, kind of go over a few things about the season in general. Right now, the Thunder are currently in their championship parade, kind of towards the end of the parade, and then they'll get over to Scissortail Park where they'll have a big stage where they'll kind of get the fans into it, kind of talk to them and kind of the normal stuff. So I'll kind of be looking at that over here while we're talking about this. But the championship parade was today. I mean, we've seen so many different guys already have their shirts off and all that. We've seen so many different cool things, them signing papers, just kind of watching the live stream. So many Thunder fans came out. It looked like probably hundreds of, at least thousands out there. So, I mean, we knew this is going to be the biggest thing for Oklahoma, just statewide, everybody coming together, just because not only is Oklahoma, this is our only professional sports team. Our two college teams are rivals, so like you have your OU fans, your OSU fans, but everybody's able to come together and celebrate this Thunder championship, which is amazing. What we're gonna kind of get into first is I'm gonna kind of give you my season grade over each player and kind of what grade I thought they got for this season. We'll start out with SGA. I don't think you can really give SGA anything else than a A plus. I just one of the most historic seasons all time, not just guard seasons, but just one of the best seasons in general when you add in the MVP, scoring title, Finals MVP, championship. There's just a very, very short list of players. Like I told you, the only players to have that scoring title, MVP, and Finals MVP, Shaq did it, Kareem did it, and then Jordan did it. Granted, Jordan did it 4 times, but that's Michael Jordan. So he's on a very short list. I mean, everywhere you look, he's just getting put into these all-time things. And I mean, it was a historic season nonetheless by SGA, and I think he deserves that A-plus ranking. Next up, we have Lou Dort, and I've kind of been going back and forth on this on kind of what grade I would give Lou Dort, because you're not giving Lou Dort a grade based on his offense production and what he averages stats wise. It's what you see on the court, his defensive impact, and what that might look like. I feel pretty confident giving Lou Dort a B plus overall on this year. He didn't do anything spectacular, just kind of his normal Lou Dort year, but it just felt like his defense was still tremendous, and there were so many times where it's star players just whenever Lou Dort guards them, it just felt like they had nowhere to go. And I mean, you had games where Caruso, Chet, and Hartenstein didn't play this year. Lou Dort was your best defender out there, and the Thunder were perfectly fine with that. And Lou Dort shows that on a night in, night out basis. There were some nights Lou Dort was bad for 3 and he was 1 for 8, 1 for 9, but he continued to play. His teammates trusted him, and I mean, he had some major games in this playoff series, especially these finals. He had a few big threes that really propelled the Thunder on a couple of those possessions. So I feel like a B plus is a fair ranking for Lou Dort. Moving on next to J-Dub, Jalen Williams. I think this is an easy A. I think he expanded himself into that upper echelon of second tier options. A lot of people were questioning if he was going to be that second. He could be a second option on a championship team, and he proved that. He was all NBA third team, all defensive second team. He was an all-star. He had a pivotal all-time performance in Game 5 of the finals to make it help where the Thunder were able to win the championship in 7 games. So you saw a lot of growth in his offensive game and his defensive game. I mean, getting all defensive second team is no easy task. Only 10 players make all defensive team, and to say that you're one of the 10 best defenders in the league this year is something incredible. So I think overall, with the growth and only seeing him get better and just an all-around great season, I think A is fair for Jalen Williams. Next is Chet Holmgren. I think this is the biggest thing where people are going to have their differences of what grade you might give Chet. And for me, I think it's a B. I think he could have been a lot healthier before he got injured with that hip injury. He was in those early stages of the year. I mean, he was averaging nearly 20 points, and he was looking like he was going to be the second best player on the Thunder. But injuries happen, and then throughout these playoffs, he just really wasn't as consistent as you would like him on the offensive end. You know what you're going to get from him defensively on the rim protection side and being able to guard out in perimeter. But a lot of his grade and based on what fans want to see out of him is going to be how he evolves that offensive game. Can he consistently knock down threes, or can he handle the ball better and dribble? I notice a lot when Chet gets flustered and is not doing good, it's because he's trying to attack off the dribble, and that's just not his strong suit. He needs to be able to hit those three, get in the post, maybe do some post moves, lob threat. I think when Chet tries to start being a point guard and trying to dribble and getting those defenders that will just kind of poke that ball loose with those quick hands is kind of where he struggles. I still don't think it was a bad season. I don't want to sit here and say like a B is a bad thing. I think he was perfectly fine. He still had some great moments that, I mean, Game 7, he had a massive game that helped us clinch the championship. So I think a B is where I'm at with Chet Holmgren. Hartenstein, I think he's a B as well. I think he's kind of exactly who you were expecting to when you picked him up in this offseason for that 3-year, $87 million contract. He's not going to blow you away with any of the stats, just like Lu Dort. He is a great playmaker. He's a screen setter. He's a rebounder, stuff like that. And you saw a lot of it. Obviously, he was hurt with that fractured hand earlier in the year. But once you got back, the Thunder were 45-8 when Hartenstein played. Started or played one of those where the Thunder were unbelievable when he was in games. So he's not going to show up by scoring 30 or 20, but his impact is noticeable by any measure by Thunder fans, and I think it was a B plus year by Isaiah Hartenstein. We'll kind of go over just the four main bench pieces, kind of low on time to get into some other segments. Alex Caruso, I would say if you were talking about just regular season wise, it would maybe be like a B minus. I mean, he was great during the regular season, but you didn't really see him and how amazing he is and how important he is to this team until we got to the playoffs. And I think just his playoff performances with guarding Jokic in Game 7, the 220-point performances in this finals, I think he kind of got put up in that A-minus category. I mean, he just proved that the championship experience and picking him up for straight up trading Josh Giddey might be one of the better win-win trades in recent NBA history, because Giddey went off for Chicago and will continue to grow. But I just see Caruso as an A-minus. I mean, he was tremendous in the playoffs, and to say we have another year of that where he's just going to continue to help these guys grow is going to be amazing. So I think we land at an A- with Alex Caruso. Next up is Cason Wallace. Wallace had a bunch of different roles. You saw him start some games in the regular season, and then come NBA Finals, the first two of the series in the finals, Wallace was starting over Hartenstein, and then eventually they switched that back. Excuse me about that, guys. But Cason Wallace, I feel like he is at a B plus this year. You just kind of look at it from a defensive and 3-point standing spot, and you kind of see that his 3-point shot got tremendously better. He just continued to grow on the defensive side of things. And I think the biggest thing for him to continue to grow and kind of get into that next level of a role player and possibly a sixth man is continuing to work on his dribble and kind of attacking the rim. I think he's kind of grown into that 3-and-D type role player, but I think he has amazing hops. He actually has quite a bit of athleticism if you watch. So because he's thrown down a few dunks in transition this year. So, I mean, if he can continue to work on driving in there, possibly finishing a little bit and expanding his game, I think he'll be able to grow even better as a player. So I think we land on a B+ with Wallace. And then kind of my last two guys, I think Aaron Wiggins will kind of Aaron Wiggins, it's kind of hard to grade him because we know if he was on any other team, he would probably easily average about 20. But he's not always playing that much. But when you have an 18-point performance in the finals to kind of help the Thunder take game 4, and throughout the season you get big performances. I believe he had 30 in one game, and I mean, he shoots the ball really well. He just kind of does everything on all 3 levels so good, but he doesn't do anything exceptional. So it's like, what you're going to get from 3, how to finish. His defense is all above average and good. He just doesn't do anything tremendously, and I think he kind of ends up with a B-. I thought he would have more of a role this year and kind of grow into more of that, maybe even second man off the bench. And a lot of that has to do with Dagnall's minutes and how he wants to approach it. But I think we can see a lot more from Wiggins, and I hope we do, because I think he can be a tremendous role player. And especially since we extended him on that contract, I think he's going to be a big part of hopefully what the Thunder can do with these next few years. And then the last guy I want to talk about today is Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe didn't play in Game 7, and it kind of felt like he had an up and down year. It felt like there were games where he could go 4 for 5 from 3 and be the 6th man off the bench and play in those final minutes of certain games. And then there's other games where he goes out there and shoots 0 for 5. So I feel like Isaiah Joe, he's a great shooter. And the problem is, I feel like the Thunder's biggest weakness, and we'll kind of talk about it as we get into this NBA draft, is the Thunder's biggest weakness. I think the 2 biggest are 3-point shooting and backup big minutes. I think when you have Kenrich and J. Will, I think throughout the draft you're kind of looking at possibly moving. There's been rumors that the Thunder are trying to move up into the top 10. My assumption would be to go get one of those big guys, whether it's Kalam Malak or Derek Queen. I think the Thunder have kind of noticed that they need that backup big, so I think they're going to try to move some pieces to maybe get a backup big in the draft to kind of help Chet and Hartenstein kind of mix in those minutes. And also 3-point shooting. That's why I think Isaiah Joe could have been a big factor. I think the Thunder's 3-point shooting is not very strong at some points. You can see in the finals, there's the game they won in Game 5 or Game 4. Luckily, they shot terrible, but their defense is so good it helped them out and it kept them in the games. But I think if you look at from one thing you can say that this Thunder team is bad at is their 3-point shooting. And I think as we kind of transition to this draft, I think draft-wise, I think they're going to try to go big, and I think they'll try to get a 4 or 5 to kind of help play off the bench and kind of go that way. We'll see how that goes. The draft is tomorrow night, so we'll see kind of where they're going, which is crazy to think about because we haven't really thought about the draft because we're so busy celebrating this championship, and the Thunder have a chance to, it sounds like they're going to try to trade into the top 10. So, I mean, just from an NBA draft standpoint, this draft has all-time guy possibility and Cooper Flagg probably going to the Mavericks. You have guys like Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe, Trey Johnson, and then a guy who's been slipping on boards now with, it sounds like, having problems with certain teams, Ace Bailey. But kind of going into the offseason look ahead for the Thunder, with their 3-point shooting, I think a big move the Thunder could consider doing if they're looking to do off-season moves and continue to get better. Because, I mean, yeah, you can keep the same team. Nobody's a free agent, but good teams continue to look to get better and how they might do that. I've seen a lot of things go around. I think Cam Johnson is a name to look out for from the Brooklyn Nets. He provides great scoring, great 3-point shooting off the bench, and he could be the guy off the bench that scores. We're so used to Wallace, Caruso, Wiggins guys who are defense first, and then kind of play around. If you can get a scorer first to kind of let that load off of Shea and J-Dub sometime, I think that could be huge for the Thunder. So I think a guy like Cam Johnson, I could see a trade where maybe you trade Joe, Kenrich and a few firsts to get Cam, or Wiggins, Joe, and a couple of firsts. So we'll kind of keep our eye out on that. I think he is the biggest off-season acquisition that the Thunder could look at. I'll kind of give you guys some more names I'll think about in the next video. But that will be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this kind of look ahead to the off-season. The draft is tomorrow, but also know that we won the championship and that parade's going on, and kind of give you guys what my thoughts were on some of the grades of this season overall. But that will be it for me today, guys. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Peace.